Alrighty, guys, we are flying here on a Saturday morning, okay? It's an exciting day, NFL Combine Day, running backs, wide receiver, quarterback. The main event day is this Saturday. Breaking news that just happened yesterday is Matthew Stafford is heading back to L.A. to be an L.A. Ram. That leaves the New York Giants in limbo. It leaves the Vegas Raiders in limbo at quarterback. It leaves the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Indianapolis Colts still looking for quarterback. And then the other headliner of this free agent class is first ballot Hall of Famer, multi-time MVP, one of the great quarterbacks of all time, probably a top 8 quarterback to ever play this game. You could even rank him in the top 5. It's Aaron Rodgers. So Aaron Rodgers, he had a decent back half of the season last year. He's not the easiest guy to build a team around. He wanted Alan Lazard. He had a lot of influence in bringing Nathaniel Hackett, the offensive coordinator. He had a lot of influence in bringing Nathaniel Hackett all the way to the New York Jets. So for the New York Giants, for Brian Daboll, it's do or die. So if Cam Ward ends up going to the Tennessee Titans, if Abdul Carter ends up going to the Cleveland Browns, I take a pause because what would you do if you're the New York Giants? Because the way that I view this class, I look at Shedeur Sanders, and it would be easier if I viewed Shedeur Sanders in the mold of a Bo Nix or a Jaden Daniels, somebody that's going to come in and be really solid at the NFL level. Now, Shedeur Sanders, he brings with him a lot of confidence. He brings with him, a ton of accuracy. He has good footwork. He's a big guy, so he can absorb hits. He'll stand in the pocket. He'll win, from the pocket. He's not the most mobile quarterback. So, and he also doesn't have the quickest twitch. He doesn't have like a ton of arm strength or pop. Like, he can make some throws to the outside, but the football will hang in the air. I think that Tyler Shuck, and I also think that that looking in this quarterback class, that's also why you might not throw at the combine, because even Quinn Ewers, if fully healthy, might even have more velocity. Now, it's not always about velocity. So Shedeur Sanders is an accurate quarterback, but do you view Shedeur Sanders taking him at number 3 overall and passing on players that can really help you out for maybe the next 8 or 9 years? Like, you look at Will Campbell, and could Will Campbell be an elite tackle or guard in this NFL? I believe possibly. He can also be, a terrific kind of presence in the locker room. Shedeur can be that way as well. I'm just saying Will Campbell intangibly is elite. I look at, I'm trying to think of other, like Travis Hunter is somebody that is probably going to be a top 4 cornerback in the National Football League. You look at how great Sauce Gardner has been. You look at Derek Stingley. Like, these guys have come in, and a lot of these cornerbacks in the early rounds have been elite level players. Now, you do have Jeff Okudah that was a miss that high in the draft by the Detroit Lions, but Sauce Gardner has elevated the New York Jets. Derek Stingley has elevated the Houston Texans. The Philadelphia Eagles in your own division drafted 2 defensive backs, and they look like all-pro studs, all right? And it helped them win a championship. So Travis Hunter is interesting at number 3. But the way that I would go, this is just me. Again, this is my channel. Maybe you guys would be interested in Shedeur Sanders. So there's multiple pathways to go. Of course, I want to win in this draft. I'm going to select a quarterback in this draft if I'm the New York Giants. Okay, if I'm the New York Giants. So we'll talk about Aaron Rodgers' destination spots, and then we'll talk about the New York Giants here. All right. The way that I view this draft, I have Cam Ward rated way up here. I believe Cam Ward's going to be a top 7 quarterback in the NFL. He's going to be like even a Dak Prescott-like career. He's going to have a lot of all-pros. He's going to be a very, very good quarterback in this league because he's very mobile. He is incredibly accurate. His maturity is elite. There's a lot of, really, they're all good kids. Like every kid in this draft, whether you have Jackson Dart, Quinn Ewers, Shedeur Sanders, Will Howard, like they're all really good people. Cam Ward's confidence is very, very different. It's very authentic. He was a 0-star recruit. He's had to work his way up. So intangibly, the other quarterbacks in this class are very good intangibly, but Cam Ward's intangibles are different. Cam Ward also, from a physical standpoint, has everything you look for at quarterback. He just is blessed with the ability to have like this throwing motion that's very whippy, that is, kind of baseball-like. Look at Mahomes, you look at Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen. A lot of these quarterbacks are able to throw the ball sidearm, and Cam Ward's twitch is really, really special. You see it, in the training camp videos. His velocity is just impeccable, and he can make every single throw. He's really patient in the pocket. Some people, viewed Kyler Murray in the same way. They said that he holds the ball too long in the pocket, but as Cam Ward said very astutely in an interview, he said that holding the ball allows players to get open and find their second or third windows on the field. So I love the patience and the poise in the pocket. I like how he doesn't leave the pocket. All right, so Cam Ward to me Cam Ward should be a priority for the New York Giants. I believe if I were the New York Giants GM, I would offer up this third overall pick and 2 future first rounders. That is the Godfather offer to go up to number 1 to Tennessee and to draft Cam Ward at quarterback. Because next year, how do you know that you're going to be in a situation as high in the draft to go out there and take a quarterback like Drew Aller, Garrett Nussmeier, Nico Iamaleava, maybe Dante Moore? We're going to see what pans out next year. All right. Also in this draft class, in the third round, I would take a chance on Dillon Gabriel. I believe that Dillon Gabriel, to me, is actually the second best quarterback in this draft class. I see Dillon Gabriel's career going like Gardner Minshew, Taylor Heineke. I'm not going to say he's going to be like Russell Wilson or even Tua Tagovailoa. Like Tua's had real success in the NFL, taking his team to the postseason, being a starter for a handful of years. I think Dillon's going to have to win the starting quarterback job. He's 5'10". He's played in college for 5 years, so he's not the youngest guy. When you're not a first-round quarterback, when you're not a high second-round quarterback, the chances of you getting an opportunity to start, you're going to have to win it in training camp. I believe Dillon can do that. His intangibles, his confidence is just there. So I'm going to save actually a lot of discussion about the quarterback. I'm going to save that also. You're going to hear that when I go through, this combine evaluation. All right. So what I'm going to tell you guys here about the New York Giants is I told you what I would offer for Cam Ward. I think the New York Giants in the third round should take either Shuck or Dillon Gabriel. That's what I would do as a GM. You maybe even could get both of them in the third round or the fourth round. You should take as many chances at the dartboard as possible at quarterback. The New York Giants, too, with Aaron Rodgers, he's not a horrible option because he's going to be a one-year quarterback, and Brian Daboll wants to have success, Joe Shane. It's 1 year. It seems incredibly low risk because it's 1 year. Your coaching staff is already on thin ice. There already is going to, if it doesn't work, there's already going to be changes the following years. Bringing in Aaron Rodgers, you bring in a guy with talent, but also the quarterback that you select, if you don't get Cam Ward, will probably be a third-round quarterback. So Dillon Gabriel and Tyler Shuck in their mid-20s, just like Jordan Love, is a success story learning from Aaron Rodgers. The New York Giants then will have a guy that can really teach the quarterback position. Okay, and Aaron Rodgers. The other thing that I'm going to mention, I guess you can point to Zach Wilson as not working under Aaron Rodgers. I understand that. But, you look at guys like Kirk Benkert and other Graham Harrell and everybody that was a backup quarterback, Matt Flynn. Like, these guys all did benefit from having Aaron. Aaron is incredibly smart. He is loyal to his teammates. His teammates, for the most part, do like Aaron Rodgers, especially in that quarterback room. He's very tight with quarterbacks on the roster. And also, Malik Neighbors will learn a lot from Aaron Rodgers. Tyrone Tracy will learn a lot. Theo Johnson. All right, Brian Daboll and Joe Shane can continue to learn from a Hall of Fame quarterback. So if the price is there, I would not give the New York Jets any more than maybe a 6th-round pick for Aaron Rodgers, because it's only going to be 1 year. And then you're still going to have to find your long-term solution. There's other decent quarterbacks I would look at in free agency. I would look at Wentz. I would look at Jimmy Garoppolo. Guys in their mid-30s that can maybe start for a year. Zach Wilson is interesting for sure. I don't really believe that Fields is going to. I don't know if he's going to. I don't know if the offense is going to be as run-centric for the New York Giants. Okay, that would have to be something that you really, really discuss. Fields is interesting at quarterback as well, though. He's not somebody I'd rule out of this process. But in a dream world, the New York Giants' priority number one above everything else should be to get Cam Ward at quarterback. And then I would look at it if, in free agency with Aaron Rodgers, because Aaron Rodgers has to come first, I would probably pass on Aaron Rodgers. I probably would, because I would go out there and get like a Garoppolo, Wentz, or a Justin Fields at quarterback, and then I would focus on the draft. I would focus on trying to get Cam Ward in the draft, and if you don't get Cam Ward in this draft and you don't get Abdul Carter, then I would look in the 3rd round at Dillon Gabriel, Tyler Shuck, and then I would most likely, if Abdul and Cam go 1 and 2, I would then trade the 3rd round pick for a future first next year. So then next year you can kind of land the quarterback of the future. Maybe Dillon Gabriel is really good, but it just gives you a lot of options for next year. All righty, guys, tell me what you think about Aaron Rodgers. I can kind of go either way on it. If it's very affordable and low risk and you don't give up a lot of capital, it's not a terrible, terrible idea. It's a 1-year deal. You could say that Aaron Rodgers could ruin the locker room or could ruin the cohesion, but I believe that Aaron's going to go to a quarterback desperate team. And if you don't, it's not like Aaron Rodgers is going to go to, let's just say, the Detroit Lions that have a really good culture, really good coach. Like, that would be a risk for Aaron Rodgers to go to a team like even the 49ers or even a Detroit Lions that kind of have already that continuity. Aaron Rodgers is not going to be going to the Minnesota Vikings, all right? So Brian Daboll does need to win. Joe Shane and these guys need to put on a decent product. So the more you think about it, if it's low risk, I'm totally fine with the New York Giants going out there and getting Aaron Rodgers. I just said, 2 minutes ago, I wouldn't get Aaron Rodgers. The priority should be in the draft, but free agency comes before the draft, and it totally depends on Aaron's interest in New York and if it's applicable. I wouldn't go above and beyond to get Aaron Rodgers. I would go above and beyond to try to get Cam Ward in this draft or to try to get a 1st-round pick for next year, and I would really seek out Gabriel and Tyler Shuck. Those are the quarterbacks I like going forward for the New York Giants and for every team in the NFL. That's kind of how I view this process.